Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel and visiting me for the first time, welcome. So today's is a serious story time and one that I haven't told to many people. It's one that I feel is very real and raw, and it will help someone, hopefully help someone out there. I'm going to get right into the story time. It's basically about how I knew God was real. And this is my own personal testimony. I know that there are people out there who experience God in different ways and in different parts of their lives. I appreciate you guys being here and listening to my testimony and my story. And I'm interested in hearing how God has shown up in your life as well. So don't be afraid to share and leave in the comments. You never know who you can help. You never know how much you can make a difference in someone's life just by telling your story. So here's my story about it. I want to start off by saying that I was sick for a very long time with a condition that affected me both mentally and physically. It was a storm, you all, that lasted for years, okay? Years I went through this. And during this storm, I wasn't thinking clearly. I wasn't myself at all. It wasn't my typical behavior. I lost weight. I wasn't speaking with people. I was not eating, which in turn kind of made my organs start to shut down. And it got so bad that at one point I didn't even know my own name. Like, that's how bad it was. I saw several doctors and they didn't know what was happening. They couldn't diagnose me with anything in particular, and they couldn't really pinpoint what exactly was going on with me at the time. So it was a very scary time for me. I was very young, and it took a while to get to a point where I could get some kind of help or solution. However, through all of this, I remembered God, and He never forgot about me. And I'll tell you an example of something that happened during this time. One time as I was going through this storm, a pastor that was very close to me, in terms of I knew this pastor very well. This pastor saw me one afternoon and said a prayer over me. Now, keep in mind that during this time, I wasn't recognizing anything. I wasn't recognizing my own name. I didn't know how to communicate well with people. I was behaving in ways that weren't like me, and I was being affected both mentally and physically. Okay, so what ended up happening was, after the pastor said the prayer over me, that same evening, all of a sudden I snapped out of it. I was like, remembered who I was. And I remember specifically asking my mom over dinner, I was like, do you think I look as bad as I feel? And she just kind of looked at me, and I can tell that for the first time in a while, the conversations that I was having with her during that moment, I was actually making sense. Okay, so honestly, I don't remember her reply in that moment, but I do remember the look on her face, that she had a look of hope and a gleam in her eye that said, I feel like my daughter is coming back to me. Because when people go through what I went through and what my family experienced as I was going through this, I can only imagine their thoughts of like confusion and the sadness and the wishing and hoping that everything can go back to normal when nothing was. I kind of slipped back into the same process and the same storm again. And I want to let you guys know that some storms take time to go through. Some storms take longer than others. You can't just judge one person's storm and compare it to another, because we all go through different kinds of storms, even though it comes from the same place, right? So this took years. From a long time I had to go through this. But I learned so much in that storm, and I knew that God was with me just from that moment alone. And even during the storm that I was going through, I would come in and out of it. Like it's like I was in a daze, but I would come out of it every now and then and recognize where I was and who I was. And I knew all the time that God loved me, but I didn't know why I was going through what I was going through, and it made it very difficult for me. But I bring this to you guys to say that now that years have passed since that last moment when I was sick, God is a good God, and He brought me through it. And even though our storms look differently, at the end of the day, they're still storms and they will pass. But you have to keep the faith, and you have to keep believing, and you have to keep trusting in Him and His word. I want to encourage you with these words today. As you're going through your own individual storms, I want you to ask yourself, what is He trying to teach you? Are you learning patience as you go through this? Compassion or understanding? Are you learning to listen and trust His voice? The reason and the way that I know that God is real is because He's brought me through the storm, out, and has made me so much stronger. He speaks to me every day. He encourages me every day. And things that I once prayed for, I am living it in this moment. So don't give up if you're going through something very difficult, whether it be illness, whether it be death, whether it be a hard time with your job, whether it be getting a job. All of these are storms and they will pass, but you have to learn to walk with it with God. Walk through the storm with God. Trust Him because He'll bring you through. I thank you guys for your patience and for listening to my testimony and my story. This was not an easy story for me to tell, as it really took courage and strength that I thank God who's given me the strength to do it, to tell you guys. And I don't do it for attention. I don't do it for views or anything like that. It's great to get that, but I do it because I really feel like I can help someone and make a difference. And hopefully I've done that for you today. If you enjoyed this story time and would like to hear more story times from me, or just enjoy my content in general, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to turn on all post notifications. That way you will know when a video posts next from me. I appreciate you guys. I truly, truly love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.